Hey, do you mind if I sit here? Great. Are you waiting for something? Oh, well, that's perfect. Personally, I shouldn't get into this. I have my own feelings about, prescriptions. Yeah. But, to each his own. Um, yeah, it's actually not a coincidence that I'm here. Just a minute. It's really heavy. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's worth it, though. Okay, that's better now. I have to say, you are a hard lady to catch. You are. I'm normally pretty chill, but I gotta say, you really move. I mean, when you run errands, you run errands. You really you're flying. Like, I almost caught you at Panera, and then you got away because, well, see, I saw this other lady from the back, and I thought she was you, and it turned out to be somebody else, and you were in a different line, and before I realized it, you were gone. So then, oh, of course I'm following you, right? Of course I am. Duh, that's what I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to tell you what I went through to catch you. So you were at Panera, and then you went to Costco, and my ethics will not allow me to walk in there. So I had to wait out in the hot parking lot for you to come out. But apparently I don't know how I missed you. Did you go out another exit? I don't think there is another exit. How did you get out without me seeing you? I don't understand. I didn't think you could exit through the tire center. Okay, what were you in there buying? Oh, I understand. You're right. It's not my business. It's not my business. But there is something I want to talk to you about. And while you wait for your government mandated poison, we really need to talk. Yeah, big time. This is serious. No, I'm not a private investigator. Why do I look like a private investigator? No, I'm a truth crusader, so it kind of sounds like private investigator. I could see where you could get confused. No, you don't know me personally, like you wouldn't know my face, but we've had a lot of really meaningful conversations on babycenter.com. Yeah, the website, the message boards. Mommy and me, new mommies. Well, I've seen you on several of the boards. I remember when your 2-year-old was born. Yeah, you keep referring to her as a 2-year-old, and I'm sorry, I don't know the months, so I can't really say how old your child is. I mean, you like to generalize using years. I mean, to each his own. Again, like I said, I truly believe in live and let live, unless they're doing it wrong, and then I have to point it out, which is why I'm here today. I noticed that you haven't posted anything in 37 days, and I really started to get worried, so I tracked you down. I hope you don't mind. Well, the internet is a great thing, and I have my ways. And sometimes I spot a little lost lamb on a message board, and I just feel compelled to go that extra mile and help that person, even if it means tracking them down. I mean, you live a pretty good distance from me, and I don't think you realize how major it is that I would step foot in this CVS to speak to you today. It is totally against everything I believe in to be in this store right now. But I know that you need my help, and I'm here to offer it. So, you can hold your gratitude and your thanks for later. You don't. Oh, I don't think that's necessary. Well, I could have gotten the police involved as well, especially when you posted that thing about turning your child front facing at 2 years. I could have called the police on you for that, because that, okay, maybe it's not a punishable offense, but really you need to be locked up for that. Seriously. I mean, that's like major child abuse. But I didn't call the police because I believe in helping people. And perhaps the best way to help is not by calling the police, but by tracking you down and telling you face to face how wrong you are. And that's why I'm here. And I created this book. It's made of repurposed garbage that I dug out of the side ditch along in front of my house. I made it myself. Of course, I'm sure you're the same. We're always making little crafts and... Oh, you don't do that. Well, I'm sure you're doing your best. Well, I did that. I've written down some things that were of concern to me about you, and really, I'm not doing this so much for you. I'm doing it for your kids because I think they deserve so much better. No offense, but they deserve so much better than you. They deserve me, frankly. And I know that you're trying really hard to be a good mommy, but right from the time you picked a username on babycenter.com, you messed up. I mean, right from the start. You're trying so hard, but you keep failing, and I'm here to help you today. Okay? So while you wait for your drugs, let's have a little talk. Okay, well, I appreciate that, but I think you really need to hear me out, okay? First of all, I need to make sure that you know who you're talking to. Okay, my name is Harvest. My earthbound name is Karen. I'm obligated, according to some stuff in court, to tell you that. My name on babycenter.com, the name that you would know me by, is Harvest is Best 666. That was my username on Baby Center. Do you remember me now? Yeah. Well, I figured it was best to go with a very blunt, genuine name, which, I mean, I hate to say it, but I really do feel that I am the best. And I put 666 at the end because it's my lucky number. But your username, sweetheart, let me just open this up here for a second. I want to go over this with you. Okay, your username. See, you messed up from the start. I know you didn't mean to mess up. You didn't do it on purpose. I know. But your username is Supermom365. Really? I mean, let's get real here. Let's be serious. You are, I'm sure, a lot of things. Supermom, you are not. Okay, and I'm assuming this 365 thing is like you're saying you're Supermom every day of the year. When really, if you were, you would be Supermom 31,536,000. Because being a supermom like me, it's not just about every day. Because I'm sure you think you're Supermom because, once a day you like pick up a Happy Meal at McDonald's and throw it in the back seat to your kids, and that makes you Supermom. But really, being a supermom is about literally every second of all of those 365 days. And I can tell by looking at you right now that you're not doing that. You have run all these errands. You went to Panera. You went to Costco. Before that, you stopped at the Shell station to get gas. And I saw you go in, and I looked in your car. There were no children in your car, which would have been criminal anyway, because you should never leave your child alone. So I have to ask, where are your children? You claim to be Supermom, yet here you are, lounging around at the CVS like the Queen of Romania, and your kids are nowhere to be found. Do you know how important it is to have your children with you at all times? The most important time and the most rewarding time for me to have my children with me is when I'm running errands. Yeah, I feel we can really bond during those moments. when they're in the back seat screaming, Mommy, I want to go home. Mommy, I'm tired. Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, she's speaking to me in Portuguese. I feel that we become closer as a family. Well, of course I'm married. Of course I have a life partner. How could I not? Okay, that's part of what makes me so special. That's what allows me to devote every single moment of my life to my littles. My husband, Fisher, is actually not in the country right now. He's gone on a very important expedition. He's down in South America. He is part of a group of people. I'm not exactly sure what the name of it is. He said he can't tell me. They are on an expedition in South America to save the endangered southern Argentinian water flea. And I understand that they are almost extinct, and he may have to bring some home and put them in our bathtub, which I was fine with, because if I can be Earth Mother that to another creature, that is just, I will feel even more fulfilled and justified in saying that I am the best. Which, I mean, I am, even without the water fleas, but being able to save a species in my bathtub, nirvana. But enough about me. We need to go over your issues, because you have many. I don't appreciate you taking that tone with me. See, I don't really think you're in a position to judge me, especially considering the fact that I had to drive across 5 states to come find you after a lot of investigative work on my part at considerable expense. All I want to do is go over these things and help you become a better mommy, because that's all that matters. Where are my children? I don't think you need to take that smug tone with me, ma'am. No, you don't, super mom. My children are right here. They've been here the whole time. So like your generation would say, double snap. Got them right here. Got them right here in my bag. I wear them except when I'm sitting down. It's awkward to wear them when I sit. They're very fine in my bag. The question is, where are your children? Yeah, you can't answer that, can you? Bless your heart. Okay. They are wonderful, very advanced, very intelligent children. Yeah. I have talked about them many times in my posts. I post whole blogs on babycenter.com under the name Harvest is Best. Do you not read my blogs? Well, that's your loss. I have a boy and a girl, Ngi. He is 150. Ngi. No, the back of the throat. Ngi. Ngi. Just forget it. You can't say it. Ngi is 156 months old, and my little girl, Haven, is 87 months old. I'm very proud of them. Of course, I educate them myself, because there's no school like the homeschool. And to bring them in here is a real sacrifice. You don't understand. My children have never been inside a drugstore, and I'm leaving them zipped up so they're not exposed to the toxins in this place. You know CVS causes cancer, don't you? You do. You really need to get your poisons and get out of here as soon as possible. So let's go over a few things, and then we can all get out of here. I suggest only taking shallow breaths until you get outside. First of all, how many children do you actually have? Do you know how many children you have? Because I'm thinking you have 2. Well, I know you have the 2-year-old. How old is your child, really? You have to sit here and count the months. You don't know how old your child is. You just go around saying she's 2. That is so vague. That is so vague of you. How do you accurately compare her to other children and establish her superiority to them if you don't know how many months? Well, don't strain yourself too hard. I don't want you to pass out. I saw on there, oh my God, one of the last things you posted on there that you were having this debate about front facing your 2-year-old. Yeah, why is that? Why are you having a debate? What struggle are you dealing with here? Both of my children are rear facing, and I can tell you where to get those car seats. They still make them in Sweden. You have to have them shipped here, but since we assume you have 2 kids, unless you've lost one somewhere, which is entirely possible. You can get a discount on shipping if you buy 2 or more car seats at the same time. I can give you that information if you're, well, same to you, but I don't mean that. Namaste. And you also were wondering about switching to formula. Now, I remember this was something you said about a year ago. Surely you weren't serious. I exclusively breastfeed both of my children. Yes, I do. I mean, what other way is there to go? You might as well pour liquid concrete down your baby's throat. You know what's going to happen, don't you? It causes cancer. You're going to kill your child. Are you okay with that? Do you really want that to happen to your child? Because you are so unabashedly lazy. And let's face it, that's what it is. Your child was only 12 months old and you were going to start pouring chemicals into its body. I can't talk about it too much. I'll break out in hives. Oh, of course I know other people do it. Other people use crystal meth too. Do you want to start smoking crystal meth with your littles? Other people do it. So that makes it okay. And something else that bothers me. Do you remember the conversation that we had about paper towel usage? Do you remember that? That was probably about 4 months ago. It was back in the winter time, and there was a debate about paper towels and whether or not it's okay to use them. Do you remember that? Because I'm not proud of myself. But I got a little carried away, and I called you a selfish slut. Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry. That was not Harvest. That was not cool. I had to meditate for 3 hours in the backyard after that little exchange. I've never personally used a paper towel. I've heard of them, and they just seem incredibly wasteful to me. I use rags that I weave on our loom from repurposed textiles, like thread, and sometimes we grow cotton. Yeah, my goat keeps eating the cotton balls, though. Silly little scamp, but I don't believe in confinement, so I would never confine him. I'll let him eat whatever he wants. Yeah, but I try to grow my own, and we can spin it. We have a spinner, and then we have a loom, and we make our own cleaning supplies and cloths. Well, breast milk is like duct tape. You can use it for everything. It fixes everything. You can make degreaser with it. I make shampoo with it. I make all kinds of things with it. And see, if you hadn't stopped breastfeeding, you would have the same opportunities as I do. But you've just condemned yourself to a life of servitude and being a lemming and jumping off the cliff and buying Lysol and going to Target. Do you see what you've done to yourself? It's a real shame. Oh, and I'm going to let you keep this, actually. Normally I don't give away the books that I make because most people are not worthy, but since I had to travel so far to find you, and honestly, this is the longest anyone's let me talk to them before they had me carried off, so I really feel like I owe you like a prize of some sort, so I'll let you keep my repurposed garbage book. You had a question on there about a good sunblock for babies. First of all, you're terrible, and shame on you. You actually were going to put sunblock on a child. Everybody knows you don't do that. You don't apply sunblock to children. I never have applied sunblock to my children. I would never purchase it. It gives you cancer. It does. Have you never heard that? Oh, it causes cancer. It causes 47 different kinds of cancer. You could even get cancer in your gums and your tongue from sunblock. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. So you need to stop that. See, any good mommy knows, like I know, you don't put sunblock on your children. You shield them from the sun with your own body. That's how you prevent sunburn. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Do you want cancer, or do you want children who will grow up safe and whole and happy? Then you shield their bodies with your body while they're playing outdoors. And if they get a sunburn, that's kind of your fault. So that would be like the ultimate shame on you, because then they're condemned to cancer anyway from the sunburn that you're going to give them. Oh, your prescription's ready? Well, look, let me tell you, what, you know what, I'm just going to be nosy. What's the prescription for? Really? You get migraines? I'm doing air quotes because that's ridiculous. You know why, right? You know why you get migraines, honey? I know you're doing your best, and I know you are uninformed about this, but I'm willing to guess you use dishwashing detergent. You use like a dishwasher, don't you? Like the appliance. Yeah. You know that's what's causing your migraines. Oh yeah, dishwashing detergent. See, it leaves a coating on your dishes, and every time you eat the chemical-laden slop that I'm sure you and your family eats, although I imagine you probably eat most of your meals out of a paper bag, am I right? With the grease slowly creeping up the side of the bag, because God knows it's too much trouble to cook, because you've been working all day, right? Yeah. That dishwashing detergent that you think is so harmless and so wonderful and so convenient because it's so much trouble to wash a dish, that stuff leaves a residue on your plates, and it's by design. Oh, it's deliberate. They know. Trust me, they know. It leaves a film on your plates, and that film is transferred to the slop that you eat off those plates, and it causes migraines and cancer. Yeah, that's exactly why. See, if you do like me, use your breast milk detergent to wash your dishes with down in the creek, you wouldn't have migraines. I don't have migraines. No, I've never had a migraine. I've never had any pain at all. You just breathe through. And really, pain is just fear leaving the body. You have to learn to embrace it and accept it. Not chase it away with drugs that will ultimately kill you. Oh, you're going to get cancer from that stuff. Don't you know that? You know what you need to do, seriously? I think you need to just come with me and come home with me for a little while, since you don't even know where your children are. I'm sure someone's got them. It's not like they're going to miss you, especially since you work. I mean, they probably don't even know what you look like anyway. So you're like a non-factor in their life. So tell me this. Do you wear your children while you're at work, or you take them to daycare? Oh, I need my soap. And I don't have it. I was in a hurry to get in here. I was afraid you were going to get away from me again like you did twice. And I left my soap in the car. You wouldn't understand. You take them, you basically take them to baby jail while you go off and selfishly work somewhere. And you do this every day. Oh, don't answer that. Don't answer that. I'm gonna pass out. I'll land on my children and they'll be mad at me. Well, it's a good thing in a way that you do that, because it gets them used to the idea of incarceration, because that's where they're going to be when they grow up anyway. Well, it's your fault. So you should be shocked. Don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. You know, it's proven. It's proven that children who grow up in a home where a mother works, 100% of them end up incarcerated. Your children are headed straight to jail, so you might as well leave them in that playpen because they need to get used to those bars. Yeah. So, good luck to you and yours. Yeah. Don't forget to put money in their little prison account for cigarettes. They're going to need to trade to save their own lives. So, that's crazy. That was me. Oh, you remembered. Wow, that was quite a while ago. I'd forgotten about that. I did judge you on your post about lice. Yes, I did. Yeah, I totally judged you. I burned you so bad. I roasted you so hard in that post. No, I'm not sorry. Yeah, you said your little girl got lice at daycare. Well, you really need to look in the mirror for the source of all this agony, okay? If you stayed at home like you were supposed to and raised your children like you're supposed to, your daughter would have never gotten lice and you wouldn't have had to deal with it. And then when you did deal with it, you dealt with it the wrong way. I imagine you probably came to a horrible, fatal illness institution like this and bought some drugs in a box to treat that, didn't you? I figured you did. I figured. I remember that. I remember reading that. And yeah, I was right in the middle of a teaching session with my children. I was working on Haven on using an abacus. She was probably a year. No, it was more than that. She was 17 months old when she learned to use an abacus. And I remember talking about it to myself and chuckling at the time and saying, that woman is going to pour poison all over her baby's head. There are healthy vegan ways to humanely relocate those lice. You didn't need to kill those lice. It's not their fault you're a terrible mother. No offense. You killed all those lice. Well, now you have murderer to add to the list of reasons why you're a terrible person. I would almost say you're beyond hope, but maybe I can help you. I think you need some more intensive conditioning, maybe some re-education. Why don't you come with me now? I think you should. I think you need to come home with me, and I'm only 5 states away, honey. It's not that big of a deal. You need to come home with me and sit through some classes with me, okay? I think you're going to do that now. So get your poison. I'm going to wait for you by the front door. And I know you can't escape because I know there's no other way out of here except the back entrance I already checked. And if you open that door, an alarm goes off. So if I hear it, I can always go to the back and get you. Okay, so get your poison and come to the front, and I will even let you ride in the front seat, okay? I need to get a couple of gallons of yak's milk out of the seat, but we can totally do that. So get your stuff, and I will meet you out front, okay? Awesome. Namaste.